Welcome back, friends. In this episode, we leave Laos and hit up a new country, Vietnam. So join us in this episode as we explore the capital city of Hanoi.
After our outdoor adventures in Laos in the last episode, we landed in Hanoi, which has a population of 10 million. And I'm not joking, it has an estimated 6.5 million scooters. It sure felt like it. Now, another new country also meant another new currency. Here it's the dong, and 1 million dong is about $56 Canadian. So a cup of coffee here would run you around 50,000 or about 275 Canadian. And our hotels ran around $50 Canadian.
We stayed in the old quarter of the city, which was a great place to stay. We could walk to all the attractions. With a couple million dong in our pocket, we headed out and we jumped right into the culture. We started off with water puppet theater. This is a form of entertainment that's about 1,000 years old and kind of comes originally from the rice fields when they were all flooded, and hence water puppets.
So this featured a live band, and then the puppets are wood carved and treated with lacquer to protect them from the water. And so the water is the stage, but it also hides all the mechanics for the puppets. And then your puppeteers are actually hidden behind a screen at the back of that stage. And the stories of the water puppet theater shows are usually of folk tales of farming or fishing or mythical creatures. It's old school technology, really well executed. And a few surprises as well, like fire-breathing dragons or smoke on the water to add to the drama. This was a truly unique and I thought really entertaining show.
After just a few days in the bustling city, we decided to get out of town. We decided to join a group tour and visit the area of Ninh Binh. Our guide was pretty funny. He took some hilarious shots, so here's a look at that.
Our first stop was an ancient citadel from the 17th century. After that, we had a brief bit of cycling through the karst rock formations, and apparently a bit of one of the recent King Kong movies was also filmed here.
After lunch, it was off to the Trang An Grotto. We got a boat tour here in a traditional sampan. We went through some caves and saw some more temples. It was pretty cool. It was a nice, relaxing ride.
Our final stop was to the Mua Cave area to trek up to the top of the Ngoa Long mountain for some lookouts there. It was a bit precarious at the top, didn't quite meet the safety standards of Canada perhaps, but it just made it a little more exciting. Here's a few shots of the view. We stuck around Hanoi for a couple more days and hit up a couple more attractions. One of the first being the Temple of Literature. This was built in the year 1070, and it's in honor of the philosopher Confucius and his teachings. It was also home to Vietnam's first university to educate the royalty and educate the bureaucrats and conduct their examinations for the civil service. So this was a very interesting little stop in honor of Confucius, and learned a bit more about him.
We also visited Train Street. This is a bit of an Instagram thing where you sit at a cafe and have a drink and the train blows by the table kind of inches from your drink. It's gotten really popular, but it was kind of fun. It was just kind of neat to see. The train goes through a couple times, and a couple times a day. The schedule kind of changes, but most of the restaurant owners know it, and they let you know. So it's kind of a fun thing to do.
It was fun watching everybody just sort of begin to congregate, knew it was coming, setting up their selfie sticks, as did we.
The food in Vietnam was different again, and we had the opportunity to join a food tour. This was pretty awesome. We had some amazing banh mi sandwiches. We had the Vietnamese pancake, which is more savory than sweet. You wrap some ingredients like pork and shrimp and egg into kind of a rice paper wrap. It's super nice. So we really enjoyed that tour.
We had a lesson on that tour as well, how to make egg coffee, which I really get on to when we were visiting there. This is when you whisk eggs and sugar and condensed milk to make a nice foam, and you pour that on top of a very strong Vietnamese coffee. These are delicious, very desserty. We had a really good time on the food tour, so our thanks to our guide, Little Bunny.
We'll wrap it up there, but the food tour was one of the first activities we did with the group tour that we just joined, and we'll spend about the next 7 days with them.
Now, we're not a sponsored channel, but kind of like Sesame Street, these next few episodes will be brought to you by the letter H, because we are headed to the famous Ha Long Bay for a night on the water. We visit the imperial city of Hue, we hit up the Taylor in Hoi An, and we wrap up in Ho Chi Minh City. These episodes will be a great mix of adventures and of the history of Vietnam. Lots to come. We'll see you on the road.